the new DCU hasn't really taken off yet. We're still in the early throes of it. Superman Legacy is about to go into production fairly soon. Creature Commandos, the first project in the DCU, this animated series, is well on its way, all the way through production. Voiceover work is being done. However, the one thing we didn't really get an announcement for in that whole Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters that James Gunn did in late 2022, early 2023, we didn't really get any announcement for not only a lot of the traditional Justice League characters like Aquaman, Flash, Wonder Woman. We only really heard about the Batman and Superman projects. We also didn't really hear anything about, something to do with Justice League. Like Justice League for the longest time at Warner Brothers was like this big project that they wanted to make happen. Whether it was the George Miller Justice League or I Am Legend predicting just Batman Superman on screen movie, that logo eventually like came to fruition in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. But now that we have had both a debacle and a very celebrated version of Justice League come out with Zack Snyder's version on HBO Max, do you think we will get a Justice League in the new DCU, and how soon is that going to happen? And when it does happen, because I think it will happen eventually, it has to. Um, who will be on James Gunn's Justice League team? Like, which characters are we going to see? Are we going to go in more in the New 52 direction, like what the DCEU did with Cyborg and such? Or are we going to go a little more classic with Martian Manhunter, like what we saw in like the the animated Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, which to this day I have a tremendous affinity for. John, what is your opinion on this? Who would you include on James Gunn's Justice League based on what we have already got announced with all the DCU projects, but also maybe what is to come down the road?
I think, well, I don't think we're going to be getting a Justice League movie anytime soon. I think for most people, the Justice League movie with, Henry Cavill, CGI mouth and all of that, because only like really like big diehard fans of like the Snyder cut only are really aware of that. So people are still kind of aware of the not great Justice League movie that came out theatrically. So I think Gunn wants as much distance from that as we possibly can. So I don't think we'll be seeing a Justice League film anytime soon. However, Justice League within the films, that's a whole nother story. I think we will be getting that. As I've mentioned before, I think it seems like we're getting a proto Justice League in Superman Legacy. And obviously, I think in terms of who would be on it, I am so like in love with the original seven. Like I feel like it's not the Justice League without the original seven: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, and Martian Manhunter. For me, I'm pro Martian Manhunter. I don't have anything against Cyborg. Cyborg needs to be on Teen Titans, though. That is where he needs to be. That is where he belongs. Love Teen Titans. That's where Cyborg should be. And have Martian Manhunter be on the Justice League. Now, I think in order to, get out of my comfort zone, if we are, trying something different, I think something that could fit in terms of what the seven are, but trying to go in a different direction, like same but different. Like having Superman, I think it would be great. Obviously, Superman should head the new Justice League. I don't think, maybe if we're really going crazy here, don't have Batman be on the Justice League. Don't have Wonder Woman be on the Justice League. I think maybe if you want a Green Lantern, get Guy Gardner on there, because Guy Gardner is very underappreciated, and get him on the Justice League. I think that could be, and it could tease into more of the Justice League International sort of thing, like get all those rosters. I think Mr. Terrific should be on his own. If we're talking about characters that have been cast already, he should have his own team, kind of like the Terrifics, what started in DC Rebirth. I think he should focus on that. But yeah, get like a Superman, maybe a Batman like character. I think Hawkgirl should be on there, kind of teasing what you were saying with the animated Justice League. I think that could bring about some really good parallels to that. I would like to see Martian Manhunter, because the only thing we've gotten from that is the cameo from Henry Lennox in or sorry, Harry Lennox in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
So I would definitely love to see Martian Manhunter. He is definitely a favorite of mine. And I would like to see more, C-list heroes on this version of the Justice League, and then maybe have it grow into um the Justice League we know. So like Superman is still the leader. However, get like maybe Green Arrow on there and Black Canary. Get like maybe, and maybe instead of the Barry Allen Flash, get Wally West. We've seen enough Barry Allen. Wally West was the Flash for 23 years. So let's get him. Let's get Wally West. Forget all these other guys. Wally West, I think, would be great. And just get and then maybe a couple smaller, C and D list heroes. I think that could really fill out the Justice League proper here and make it like feel different, as well as separate from what came before and that not a lot of people liked. So I think something like that could be a little bit more fun.
I personally want to see the original seven on screen. Like, and I didn't mind Cyborg. I thought Cyborg was probably one of the best parts of the theatrical version of Justice League because,
definitely.
well, not the theatrical, sorry, the Zack Snyder version of Justice League. I mean, the theatrical version, they just sort of like cut his role out almost entirely. They really minimized a lot of character development for the sake of runtime. But Ray Fisher did a fantastic job playing Cyborg in the Zack Snyder version of Justice League. And I think we had a great Cyborg in Doom Patrol. I think Cyborg as a character is very relevant for the time, so you should definitely be seeing him somewhere. But I definitely want to see Martian Manhunter. Like, what is wrong with DC not utilizing Martian Manhunter? Martian Manhunter is probably one of the most created, like highest creative potential characters in all of DC. Because you've got a character who's got such a tragic story. They can make a whole Western-esque movie that's an origin story for Martian Manhunter about his journey to Earth. That's both like a period piece and some sort of a Seven Samurai remake in a manner of speaking, and then like combined with like some sort of like this alien invasion story, and then we skip forward to the present day at the end, sort of like at the end of Captain America, the first Avenger, and here's all of a sudden Martian Manhunter acclimated to Earth and in some sort of significant role in the modern day world, DCU, and then bring him into the Justice League. I mean, in the animated Justice League show and Justice League Unlimited, he was one of like the leaders, de facto leaders of the Justice League. And if you're not going to have Batman, like you said, initially in the Justice League, or maybe like he sort of weaves in and out, he's not really a permanent member, then I think you need, aside from Superman, you kind of need Martian Manhunter, because Martian Manhunter can be that character who, unlike Superman, has like that darker side, who's kind of willing to make those tougher decisions. He's a little more of a pragmatist. He's willing to maybe sacrifice a few lives to save the many. Like, and that could create a very interesting story dynamic, especially from a leadership standpoint. And when you have like Hawkgirl, and when you have all those other characters, like the different versions of Green Lantern, maybe like you said, like not the Barry Allen version of Flash, but one of the other ones, you can definitely then have a very interesting dynamic. And I do believe they'll have to find the balance, James Gunn and Peter Safran, of not necessarily giving us a Justice League that features a lot of B-list and C-list characters right at the gate, but they'll have to still probably populate some of the more well-known characters in there, but they can kind of, bring in a few of the lesser-known ones here and there. And given the world that we're gonna be getting already in Superman Legacy, a DC world that's already populated with all these characters, it doesn't look like we're just discovering Man of Steel for the first time, and then all these other heroes come out of the darkness and just their minimized roles in their limited environments like Central City or Batman or Gotham City. It seems like the world of the DCU from day one is going to be a world that's brimming with heroes and villains and all these larger than life characters. So maybe the Justice League we get isn't the Justice League that's assembling for the first time, like we saw in the first Avengers movie, right, or the Justice League movie. Maybe we're getting a Justice League that sort of already exists, sort of like the Justice Society did in Black Adam. I would love to see that. Like, you kind of get these maybe, and that would make sense then, that you have some of those legacy versions of the characters already in there, and then you work your way up to getting like that iconic seven that we all know and love, and then maybe then expand from there with other characters, like Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, which we know we're going to get in the new DCU. I'm excited about that too. So yeah, I think we can go in 100 different directions with this. But guys, let us know in the comments below, which direction would you like to go? If you were James Gunn, who would you have on the first team, the first version of the Justice League team in the new DCU? And then how would you evolve that team over time? Do you agree that maybe Batman shouldn't be a permanent fixture of the Justice League? Like, he's sort of a loner, he does his own thing, and that's how it should be. Would you want to include alternate versions, the lesser known versions of like the Flash or Green Lantern? Or would you want to include Martian Manhunter or Cyborg? Like, which direction would you go? Maybe both. How big of a team would you want to even start out with? Or would you want to start out with just 5, 6, 7 and then grow from there? Or would you want to have like a Justice League Unlimited-esque sort of a team just to, right at the beginning? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more content like this. We love talking about, all these kind of speculative, fan theories, and if you will. And of course, we also usually talk about all the news, breaking news, as well as analysis on what's going on in the world of the DCU, as well as the Elseworld stories like the Batman, Joker, Folie à Deux, all the other, DCU related and even DCEU related content like Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So let us know in the comments what you think about the future of the Justice League under the new DCU with James Gunn and Peter Safran. And then what would be your fan castings? And of course, keep checking back here for more DC news like this. And we'll be here each and every day for hopefully weeks, months, and years to come.